From the KOFI News Team, this is KOFI's Flathead News Weekly, covering the week's top headlines from Kalispell to Columbia Falls, Whitefish to Big Fork, and across northwest Montana.
With the summer season approaching, Glacier National Park is reminding visitors about changes taking effect for the 2026 season, including a shift away from vehicle reservations and new limits at one of the park's busiest areas, namely Logan Pass. The changes, first announced in February, include the elimination of vehicle reservations anywhere in the park this year. The park is also moving to a new reservation-only shuttle system and implementing 3-hour parking limits at Logan Pass. To help visitors plan ahead, Glacier has created a dedicated page with everything one needs to know about 2026 access and shuttle changes. The page is Visiting Logan Pass in 2026, Glacier National Park. Some key highlights to expect for a summer visit to Glacier this year include Glacier's shuttles on the Going to the Sun Road to Logan Pass, running on a reservation-only system during the summer season. Shuttle tickets will be available on recreation.gov. As mentioned, no vehicle reservations are required anywhere in the park this year, and parking at Logan Pass is limited to 3 hours beginning July 1st. There will not be a Glacier National Park operated hiker-biker shuttle this spring, but local commercial operators with park permits will offer bicycle rental and transportation services during the hiker-biker season. All Sun Tours and Red Bus Tours that previously departed from the Apgar Visitor Center will now depart from the newly designated Quarter Circle parking lot. Additional details about 2026 operations, summer planning tips, and shuttle updates are available online, again at Visiting Logan Pass in 2026, Glacier National Park.
A state district judge has ruled it was unlawful for Governor Greg Gianforte to appoint former lawmaker Marta Bertoglio to lead the Montana Department of Commerce. Here's Scott Davis with more.
Bertoglio resigned from the legislature before taking the position last summer, but a lawsuit argued the Montana Constitution bars lawmakers from being appointed to another state office during the term where they elected to serve. District Judge Elizabeth Best agreed, ruling that while Bertoglio resigned, her elected term had not expired and that the Commerce Director position qualifies as a civil office. The ruling orders that Bertoglio be blocked from serving and from being paid in the role. The governor's office says it's reviewing the decision and expects Bertoglio to remain in the position while the case is appealed.
The Kalispell Parking Advisory Board Thursday morning crafted several recommendations to improve downtown parking, which it is forwarding to the Kalispell City Council for further consideration. Maddie Kiefer reports for MTN News that the board unanimously voted to advance 3 proposals to the council, adopting modern parking technology, raising ticket fees, and enforcing a new block ordinance. The city previously enforced parking limits by chalking tires. If approved by the council, the board wants to replace that method with license plate recognition technology and passport parking management. The board also voted unanimously to increase parking ticket fees. Under the recommendation, regular parking tickets would cost $20, safety violations would cost $50, and boot removal fees would increase to $100. Additionally, the board agreed in principle to allow parking enforcement to issue multiple tickets to the same vehicle in a single day. Currently, a vehicle can remain in a downtown parking space all day and receive but 1 ticket. The board has yet to set a limit on how many tickets could be issued under the proposal. Another proposed change targets drivers who move their vehicles just 1 space forward after the 2-hour time limit expires. The suggested block ordinance would require drivers to move their vehicles at least 1 block away from their last parking space. Kalispell City Manager Doug Russell will review the budget before presenting the Parking Advisory Board recommendations to the Kalispell City Council for further discussion and possible adoption. While you're waiting to hear the outcome of all of that, you'll probably want to find a good place to park. The Kalispell City Council has unanimously approved changes to the city's zoning and subdivision regulations, putting the city in compliance with the Montana Land Use Planning Act. Kalispell Mayor Ryan Hunter says the state passed the act to allow cities more flexibility in zoning, citing duplexes and accessory dwelling units to be allowed in all neighborhoods as an example. Hunter said the changes include eliminating single-family zoning, reducing minimum lot sizes by 25% citywide, and reducing minimum parking requirements. Under the changes in state law, subdivision approvals will be handled through an administrative process by city staff. John Wells reports for MTN News that Kalispell City Council members voiced concerns about the lack of public participation under the changes, which eliminate the council's review process, including public hearings. But taking comment up front and implementing a more restrictive public process during the developmental approval process is expected to expedite the creation of more affordable housing. Mayor Hunter said council members included a public participation plan in the ordinance that creates an online portal with information on proposed developments and opportunities to provide public comment. More details on the public participation plan will be discussed at a future Kalispell City Council meeting. Flathead County Commissioners approved a commercial marina permit extension in Lakeside on April 9th after confirming it did not violate a stop work order issued by Flathead County District Court Judge Dan Wilson. Hannah Shields reports in the Daily Interlake that Judge Wilson halted construction of a 159-foot dock for a commercial marina amid litigation filed by Citizens for a Better Flathead. Citizens' lawsuit challenges the county commissioner's approval of the commercial marina permit in April of last year, along with a minor variance request to extend the dock beyond the 100-foot cap. Both applications were submitted by Discovery Land Company, an Arizona-based developer under the name Flathead Lake Land Partners, LLC. The commercial marina permit includes plans to demolish an existing dock and construct 3 new docks at 688 Lakeside Boulevard. The marina will primarily benefit members of a forthcoming Flathead Lake Club Resort, also dubbed Territory 1889 as per the company's website. During public comment last year, Lakeside residents with the Upper West Shore Alliance protested against the permit extension, claiming it fails to reflect developers' actual plans for the marina. Discovery Land Company asked commissioners to extend the commercial marina permit before it expired on April 24th, and County Planning Director Eric Mack assured county commissioners the extension they granted just keeps the permit open for future construction, but as per the court, no work is currently allowed.
The man involved in a 2023 shooting in Lakeside has been sentenced to prison following a plea agreement in Flathead County District Court. Scott Davis has more details.
Luke Elliott Rutledge was sentenced to 30 years at the Montana State Prison with 15 years suspended. Under the agreement, a charge attempted deliberate homicide was reduced to felony assault with a weapon. The charges stem from a November 2023 incident where investigators say Rutledge fired several rounds at a man sitting in a vehicle.
As had been expected, the Flathead County Weed Parks and Recreation Board voted unanimously April 6th against recommending the renewal of the county's lease on Slider Park in Big Fork. The ball now moves to the court of the Flathead County Commissioners, who will vote yea or nay before the current lease expires July 31st. As Elsa Erickson reports in the Big Fork Eagle, there is no date currently set for the commissioners' vote, but the terms of the lease require a 30-day notice prior to termination, so commissioners must decide by the end of June. The board discussed budget challenges and staffing shortages within the Parks and Recreation Department as other county parks divert limited resources, although Community Foundation for a Better Big Fork and Big Fork Area Chamber of Commerce both urged Parks and Rec to recommend renewing the lease. Both urged the Parks and Rec Board to recommend renewing the lease anyway. Slider Park sits on the Swan River in downtown Big Fork. The property is owned by Pacific Corp, which operates the hydroelectric dam and calls the land a public park as part of a Federal Energy Regulatory Committee agreement.
A vehicle crashed through the side and into a gift shop in West Yellowstone last week, causing significant damage and narrowly missing employees inside. No injuries were reported. The shop's operator says merchandise losses were estimated at about $17,000. West Yellowstone police say the driver was operating a rental vehicle and the crash was accidental, and no drugs or alcohol are involved. The store remains open with repairs expected to be completed in May.
That's your Week in Review from the KOFI News Team. Stay connected with us for the latest news affecting the Flathead Valley and Northwest Montana by listening to this podcast, posted every Friday afternoon. Join us again next week for another roundup of the stories that matter to you.